Hello and welcome to Bendy, a podcast about being flexible and all of the ways that means. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young and I'm one of your saccharine sour hosts. Joining me as always is our other saccharine and sour host, Beth Martin. I didn't barely make it through it this time. Beth, the
Second and
pleasure as
sour.
always. How are you?
Hi.
Sour.
Hi.
Do you need to translate sour immediately?
Sour
There
is
you
what
go.
it is how we pronounce it in the United States.
Enunciate. Yeah.
Sir.
Sour.
Sir.
How are you doing, Beth?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I I'll get out of the way. We talked about it ahead of time. Still smelling smoke. Everybody but
Okay. Do you want to
we're
start with
working on it.
do you want to start with a crack, or do you want to start with
Yeah,
like new
let's
new
get
business
into
or
that.
updates? Okay,
Well,
so we need to create let's create something
yeah. Okay, so
that's
we'll
like new business, but Irishy.
on the spot. I mean, we talked about this. Oh no. Oh, I'm sweating now. We're just gonna call it new business for this week, and then we'll get something
Okay.
better for next week. Okay, so new
Listeners, if
business
you have
or
any, yeah, if you
updates.
have any ideas, let us
Yes,
know. Okay.
please.
Please give us
So
an update on your
smoke.
olfactory issue.
Nightmare. So I'm taking a nasal spray. I took antibiotics because that's the kind of I don't know whether it's the same in the US, but basically if there's something is wrong and they're like, ugh, they're like, here, take some antibiotics. But I'm still smelling it a little bit, so I really don't know what's going on. It's not quite as extreme as it was, but it is yeah, not ideal. So, but we're working on the solution with the doctor. So yeah, hopefully get there soon.
So weird.
I know. Do you have any updates at the minute?
Oh, I do. Okay, so we launched
We did.
officially on this last Thursday. So we've got two episodes in our episode bank. But the first three are out,
Hmm.
and I just want to thank our listeners for being so amazing and spreading the word so quickly. And the feedback has just been great. People are
Yes.
listening. People are thinking we're funny, which is
Hmm.
super weird,
Yeah, really?
but
So
the
cool.
goal.
Hmm.
So I wanted to read this feedback. I don't know if
Oh,
you've had
yeah.
a chance to read
I've read
to read it.
some, but I would love to
Okay.
hear some. Yeah.
So just for those who are maybe thinking about listening to an entire episode, this is from one of our fans and our listeners and our
Mm.
friends. I highly recommend this podcast where two truly lovely people talk about everything and anything. You will feel like you are sitting in a comfy chair chatting with friends. Andy and Beth both describe themselves as gatherers. They are spot on. In their podcast, they're open, irreverent, and willing to share their vulnerability. Listen to the first three and you will be hooked. Of course, the travel one is my favorite so far.
Nice.
I know.
This is just talking about this, and we're reading like nice comments. Maybe this segment should be called "Beth and Andy pat each other on their backs."
That's right. I like it. um, World Kindness Day is coming up on November
Ooh,
13th,
ooh, interesting. Okay,
which is weird because
yeah,
why do we have a day for
I
kindness?
know
But
it is.
um that's coming up. And then we had our first merchandise request
Ooh, no
from
way.
my friend in Portland, who calling out my friend Meg, who
Uh-huh.
runs the Blue Dog Bus, where she has this amazing blue short bus, and she drives around and picks up dogs, and that's her job, and everyone loves her, and she's like been
Amazing.
in the newspaper, and so she was like, I need the sticker for my bus.
Yes.
So I'm gonna start the merch train, and
Wow.
Meg, this is all for you, babe. I'm gonna send it to you for free just because I love you. But if you want to follow Blue Dog Bus on Facebook, what she does is great, and it's like updates on dogs and photos of dogs and just all
Amazing.
of the wonderful things that come with driving a bus full of dogs. So
What is it called again?
the Blue Dog Bus.
Okay.
And she paints it, and every few years, and she has like all the neighborhood folks come and help paint, and the kids and everything, and she's just a really cool person.
That's lovely.
And she's married to someone I used to work with at the college, and I love her. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I know. And then I just want to make it clear. I don't know if Black Friday is a thing in your country, in
It
Ireland,
has become a thing just because, commerce rules all. So
right?
yeah.
What is it? Conspicuous consumption. We will
Yes.
not be doing shit for Black
Good
Friday
stuff.
because I'm getting all this stuff on social media. They're like, promote on Black Friday, and I'm like, no,
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 absolutely
no,
not.
not gonna
Because
happen here.
like I know because Black Friday tends to be around Thanksgiving, and we don't have Thanksgiving, which is the thing that's always kind of struck me as odd. It's like, but again, yeah, selling things is always going to come above holidays that get people together.
Here it's the day after Thanksgiving, so you have a day of thanks where
Oh,
you,
right.
yeah, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day
Yeah.
about where that originated and what it actually means and all of
Yeah.
that. But it's super weird to go from like um a day of gathering as a family then to showing, and I have a story about this, showing
Hmm.
up at a store at 4 a.m. and punching someone for a tickle me Elmo.
It's demented. It's
Yeah,
really nuts.
yeah, no. So just so everyone knows, not subscribing to that. We had a lot of folks commenting on how how Americans get to Cuba. And so
Oh,
I've got
interesting,
some
really.
information. So I'm going to start a page, I think, on the website that's just travel based, travel tips, travel ideas.
Uh-huh.
So thank you to Allison and Angela for your information, and know that that's going to go up on the website probably within the next week. And those are my updates, but all over. Pat on the back, Andy.
Hell
You're doing
yeah.
great.
We both are, Beth, right?
Hey.
So if anybody else wants to like celebrate us anymore, please let us know. And like honestly, the more effusive the praise, the better. Like we feed on it. So
like
yeah.
like leeches.
We need it for our lives. So please.
um
But yeah, in that case, can I ask the question, Beth, what's the crack
yes,
with you this week?
I love that. I love this question. What is the crack?
Mm-hmm.
So the crack is, we in the last 2 weeks have had hand, foot, and mouth virus. Do you
Yeah, I
guys
don't
have that there?
I think we do. I think I'm thinking of something else though, but yeah, I'm
You
I'm
get
aware of
these
it.
like you can't swallow, you get a fever, there's bumps on your mouths and your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's horrifying. It's horrifying. Pink eye and strep throat. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but our immune systems are just jacked. Uh, but that's okay. But Harper was gonna try and get her ears pierced, and I was just like, I can't handle the sickness, and then you dealing,
Yeah.
like, what if your ears get infected? Her ears would get infected
Yeah.
too with all of this happening. And Mike's out of town, so he's in Vegas, and there's all these, I'm digressing, but
Hmm.
nowadays in Vegas, when you go, Las Vegas, Nevada,
Hmm.
depending on how you pronounce it,
Hmm.
they have signs in certain casinos, no strollers, no baby strollers.
Okay.
So uh our our friend Neil texted our friend Gabe and was like, why are there all these baby strollers in this photo? Like, what the hell is this gambling town? And Gabe's like, because the babies can't walk yet, Neil.
I think
They're two, they can't walk to the gambling
it's
table, they
true.
need a stroller.
Need to learn. I mean, and you need like baby height, like blackjack tables and like and whatnot. Yeah, so they can learn. Oh, so
And
sweet.
the, like, baby bottle service.
Yeah, my first gambling addiction. So
we're
charming.
this will be our first box set.
Oh, finally.
Oh.
Oh, those special moments in a child's life that you want to remember forever. Oh.
Yeah, so that's it's just been a lot of gross here
Mhm.
overall. What's the crack with you, Andy?
I what have I done? Oh yeah, I guess the most interesting thing is my friend put together a treasure hunt on Saturday.
What?
So Yeah, so there's an app he used, I think called Action Bound, and he loves doing stuff like this. Like he loves doing quizzes and things like that. And he put together this app and this sort of as I say, a treasure hunt using the app, and it was really good. Like it took us all around Fergus, and
That's the
that's
town that you live in.
that's the town I live in, yeah. And that's I think the picture I sent to you with me doing the crane pose on that wall was
Yes.
from that, because there were certain
Yes.
sections where it was like the most ridiculous picture in this area would get bonus points or whatever. But it
I
was
just
really
thought that you
good
did the
fun.
Karate Kid move
No,
generally.
no, no, no.
I just kind of assumed. I wasn't surprised.
I'm
Sorry.
very ego free, as you know, Beth. I don't like showing off or anything like that, so I would have never have done that. Off my own back, of course.
Right, right.
Um,
I'll post it so people know what we're
oh yeah,
talking
do
about.
please do. But I think yeah, that's the only like there's the usual sort of turmoil trying to figure out my life, but so it goes by every week, But
Tra la la.
moving to a better place, and that's all that really
I'm glad.
matters. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Speaking of better place,
Hmm.
do
Excellent segue.
you want to? I know I'm really bad at this.
So,
Speaking of our topic,
speaking of our topic, so our topic this week is sweets versus candy. And it's basically just
you've
going
been
to be,
excited. You've been excited about this one, haven't you?
I mean, like, I think it's just another symptom of my freaking burgeoning sugar addiction, really. It's just like I want to talk about it. Um, and it's one of these things that it occurred to me, and then I started thinking about it, and then I started thinking there is actually quite a bit to talk about. And I think there's stuff that an American audience would find quite interesting. Um, but yeah, so sweets versus candy. So it's basically just going to be an hour long lecture of me telling Beth how terrible American candy is and how great British candy is. Or sorry, I should
Yeah,
say probably European candy actually, because we have a whole
yeah,
mixture of stuff.
yeah. Well, I'm as prepared as I possibly can be.
Hmm.
I actually reached out to an executive chef to talk about what her
Ooh,
interpretation. It's Becca. She's also my best friend, but
great.
she's also an executive chef. So I got she told me a story that I had forgotten that we had done that surrounds sugar, and then
Amazing.
her definition.
Okay.
So I'm just curious if it's different from Ireland and the UK.
What I actually did as well was, and this is a thing that has happened a lot it's nothing, let's not get too excited. It's nothing.
Okay.
And there's a lot of our local supermarkets have American candy sections. So I took a photo of my,
Oh,
yeah, because I think I've seen like
weird.
US stores that have like European selections or something like that
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes.
You do see
Yes.
those sometimes. But like I'll show you the picture later. We can talk about it, but it is kind of ludicrous, and like it was half-assed. Knowing some American candy, it's the most half-assed American section ever, but that's what makes it more funny, honestly. So yeah, but yeah. So and I suppose I should also clarify for an American audience. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the UK who doesn't know that sweet stuff in the US is called candy, but the kind of general term I think in the UK is sweets. So that's what we're
For
talking about
all that,
today.
all it's an all
Yeah,
encompassing term.
yeah,
Okay, so it's different here in the United States
yeah,
of America.
yes.
So from my chef,
Hmm.
um, sweets are like cupcakes and like confections and
Yeah,
pies.
I
And
yeah,
sugar is the evil thing that everyone has to give up because we're all addicted sugar monkeys.
yes, that's also correct. Yeah, I think I,
So
I think when I'm thinking about it now, sweet sometimes is also used as a term like for like dessert, as well, which is mad.
mhm,
So very big catch also, yeah, anything that has sugar in it, I think basically.
yeah, it's different here.
Yeah.
And like I would also say like sweets would at least for me include things like jams and jellies,
Yeah,
like sweet to the palate, right?
absolutely.
So I have, and I'll come back to that because I have a jams and jelly story.
So I
It's really
have,
disgusting.
oh, I can't wait. I have so I'll sort of set us off with our first question. So, do you have a favorite candy or sweet?
Um, I do. I love Reese's peanut butter cups.
Beth,
I know.
that might be my answer too, you know.
Really?
I think I was thinking about it. Like I do have favorite UK candies, but like I've discovered how amazing the combination of peanut butter with chocolate is over the past
Like
5, 6 years, and I can't get
ice
enough.
cream too, peanut butter chocolate ice
Yeah,
cream. Do you guys have that there?
yeah, not loads, but we do to an extent. You
Oh,
can get
it's
some.
so good. When I was pregnant, that was like my reward for getting through every day.
Oh yeah,
I'd be like, all right, now I get my cup of chocolate peanut butter ice cream.
like
And then I
a
gained 60 pounds and I was like, how?
why did this
How?
happen? What I discovered I loved, and I think this was only a fairly recent discovery, was a peanut butter milkshake. Was heaven. Probably my favorite kind of milkshake.
I'm not really into milkshakes.
Really? Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
It's
yeah. So I think we've talked about this a little bit, but
uh-huh.
do you eat to live or do you live to eat?
Live to eat.
Yeah,
I don't even have to think about
I'm
that.
the opposite.
Really?
I eat to live. I eat to live. It's like, oh gosh,
Yes, we have talked about this.
I gotta
Hmm.
feed the engine, the
Yeah.
gas. I gotta put the gas in the tank, and
No,
it's like
like
it doesn't matter if it's like, you know,
I mean,
shitty food or whatever.
I can, and I don't really care. And I used to be, I think, a bit more snobby about it, but I couldn't care less anymore.
Mhm.
But like, I do like things that taste good. I do make an effort to try new things that I've never tried before, and um, even with sweets and things like that. So yeah, very much so. I mean,
It's
it's
very,
why.
very brave of you.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's my insatiable appetite more than bravery, you know. Just
I guess I'll try the sweet.
I need like fine, I'll do it, I'll eat it, I guess. Um, it's just my insatiable friggin' lust for food more than anything else, you know.
So you like Reese's? Is that your number one?
I don't know. You know what it probably is well, I really love like Biscoff stuff in recent years, but probably my favorite and I'd say it's a European candy more than anything is there's something called a dime bar, which is you have some similar stuff. I think like a Heath bar is similar, which is like
Yeah, where it's
crispy,
got toffee.
yeah, crispy toffee with like
Yep,
chocolate coating.
yep,
So
yep.
it's kind of
Or
like
like
that.
almond roca. Do you guys have
Yes.
almond roca? Okay.
I don't think so, no.
What?
Um,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't
It's
think
like
so.
chocolate around a toffee thing, and then they put like I think hazelnuts around it,
Oh
and
wow.
everyone gives it to each
Oh,
other at
maybe I do.
Christmas.
No, no, Ferrero Rocher. Those ones?
We have Ferrero Rocher.
Oh, no, no, no. They don't have toffee in the middle. What are you talking about, Andrew? No.
You just
My
refer to yourself as
as
Andrew,
Andrew,
like you're in
yeah,
trouble.
whenever I'm angry with myself, I always give myself my full
Andrew.
name. So actually, I have just remembered what my actual favorite type of sweet, and it's not like there's a specific brand. I love more than anything toffee. I adore it, like especially the chewy stuff. But I have
Can
lost
I
so many
can
fillings,
I
and
ask? Okay. Oh
so
yeah.
I
So
had to
not
stop.
is toffee the same thing as taffy?
I don't believe so. I think they're texturally similar, but I think the toffee we get in this country tends to be a bit not quite as hard. I've only had toffee once or twice.
It's
Hmm,
like toffee's more like caramel.
yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely. It's
Okay.
kind of more like a kind of a darker, sort of more chewy caramel, I would say. Though again, you get different versions of it. You also get, hard sort of toffee as well. So it's
I can't remember when we were at the beach, did we get saltwater taffy?
we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. It's like a Mike likes it, but it's like a mediocre candy that's I don't even know if they actually use salt water.
Yeah, this was always my thing. I was like, oh, is this gonna be salty? How interesting. And then it was just, kind of not
Took out another
disappointing. It was
filling.
good. Yeah, just took another filling. Yeah, I'm like, oh god damn it. It's the classic anti maneuver.
You didn't pay for the gold ones, did you?
No, thank goodness. That would have cost
Did
me a
I?
fortune.
Well, Mike's parents did, and hey, like at some point he'll show you his
Hmm.
entire mouth, and it's like He says he looks like a pirate. He's like, if I die, make sure they take all
It's
the gold out of
just
there.
prize my gold teeth out before the
They had
ambulance
to
takes me
pull one of
away.
his teeth, and it's like one in the back. And he's like, I'm not gonna throw anything back in there in the very
Yep.
back. And so now I have his tooth that has the gold crown on it, and he wants to give it to me as a gift, like a necklace. He's like, would you wear it? I'm like, I don't know.
That's kind of intense. That's like something you give to your crush. Hi, I really like you. Here's my tooth on a
Here's my
necklace.
tooth.
Okay, dude. Thanks. Very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. I married him, and now I'm like,
Amazing.
is he a stalker?
No, I mean, like, it's Beth, you're in way too deep.
I know. It's like 16 years. I'm screwed.
It's so funny.
Okay. I have a
Okay.
question.
Okay.
So, I guess what are the most popular candies in your country? Because here we think it's Cadbury eggs, because that's what we get at Easter, and
They're
everyone's
pretty
like,
popular.
ooh,
Yeah.
the ones that the rabbits lay.
Yes. Very much so. Those big rabbits. I guess so. Like dairy milk stuff definitely is very popular, and we have like what always kind of is funny to me is that like you have bars with similar names to us that are slightly different. So like
Mhm.
I think your Mars bar is different to what our Mars bar would be. You have Milky Ways; they're different to what our
Yeah.
Milky Ways would be, and so on. I think your Milky Ways are more like what our Mars bars are like. It's which is always kind of baffling to me from a branding point of view. But those things are popular. So Mars bars are still popular. Dairy milk stuff. Also like Haribo's really popular in this country. Like gummy
Okay.
sort of chews.
Us here
Uh,
too.
and I guess yeah, I mean, those are the ones that are immediately springing to mind. I had some other, like, under Cadbury sort of banner, there's tons of other stuff. So they have like, Whispers and Toffee Crisps or Nestle's, picnics. Yeah,
Never
I don't
heard
know.
of it.
But like they are, Cadbury's kind of still pretty much rules the roost. Galaxy is a pretty big deal. I think you have them as Dove
How do you say Cadbury?
Cadbury.
Cadbury.
Oh, what did I say? Oh God,
Here it's I meant
that's it.
yeah, here it's Cadbury. I guess Cadbury. Even
I
there's with a UR, we pronounce it like fruit.
the thing that like you hear people talk about is like Americans overpronounce things, but like at the same time, it's probably better for an understanding point of view where things just kind of like fall out of our mouths over here. It's like
I like it though. It's good.
um
Uh
Galaxy, sorry, was another popular one, which I think you call them Dove bars. Is that
okay.
kind of talk about?
Yep.
I think that's a
Yep.
brand in. It's just like how much I pay attention to food and chocolates and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah,
You're
okay.
like, I know.
No,
Well, it's interesting because like you go to McDonald's in, wherever.
yeah,
You go to McDonald's in Japan and they serve sushi,
yeah.
but it's still McDonald's. You go to McDonald's in France and you can actually order a Royale with cheese
Mm-hmm.
because they don't do quarter pounds.
It's true.
So, but it's interesting, like how they'll rebrand something and, like the Mars bar thing and the
Yes.
Milky Way thing. It's like it's the same, it's different, but for whatever reason, that's the way the marketing works in your country. That's fascinating, actually,
Yeah.
that they would just change the name of the same
It's
bar.
it's always been bizarre to me. I mean, but not, and I'm not curious enough that I've actually looked into it, but I had always wondered. But like another thing, and it occurred to me when I was thinking about this is something that like they started dying away now, but for a while there was about 5 or 6 years where there would just be these American candy stores would just open up and all they would do was imported stuff. And it was like all the candy you might imagine, but also like cereal. So like, Captain Crunch, Lucky Charms, so on and so forth. Some like jerky and things
So
like that.
Lucky Charms are an American cereal.
Yes,
That's hilarious.
I know. that it's seen as like a hate crime to Irish people.
And we're like, they're magically delicious.
They're like, how dare you stereotype us like that? I meant to say it. That was the other thing I meant to say. But I think in like what our first or second episode, I said that no matter where I say I'm from, I will get in trouble. I've already got in trouble.
Have you really?
No, I mean, not really, because I'm just like, I just kind of, brush it away. But yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Inevitably. I knew it would happen.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to keep happening.
Yeah, probably. And, I'm probably going to keep caring
Just
as
keep-
much as I do.
That's right. Just get your fly swatter out.
Yeah.
For those opinions.
Exactly.
So can I tell you a story?
Yes, please do.
Do you guys have Reese's Pieces?
We do. Yes.
Okay. So it's like they're like an M&M, but they taste like peanut butter and with like it's like peanut butter with a hard candy shell. So in the movie E.T., the extraterrestrial, so that was like a whole key part of the movie is this kid is leading this alien using Reese's Pieces. And Steven Spielberg actually reached out to M&M and was like, hey, we would love to, have your company be represented. And this is a scene and, it's a big piece of the movie. Would you be interested? And they were like, nah. And he was like, okay, hey, Reese's.
Wow, interesting.
Yes. And that's why they became so popular, is because, and now like I remember when that movie came out, it was like everybody wanted that candy. And now it's like the nostalgia that comes when you eat them.
That's because E.T. was so massive, of course. And like,
it's huge.
I would have imagined that Spielberg was already pretty famous back then. I mean, I thought he would have had some pull at least.
Poster. I know. So someone I'm sure got fired or reprimanded for that one. And I looked at, because I remember, I think Mike told me this like 10 or 15 years ago, and I was like, that can't possibly be real. But I looked it up, and it is true.
That's nuts.
That's not an urban legend. They turned it down.
I like the power of those things just appearing in movies. Like I heard, I saw an interview not about candy, but something similar. Tony Hawk's an interview with Tony Hawk's recently, the skateboarder, and he was talking about the impact of the Back to the Future had on skateboarding in terms of like the amount of people that skateboarded just because they saw Marty do it in those movies. It's crazy, the impact, like something, obviously a blockbuster like one of those films can have.
Yeah, and they put skateboarding in every single one of them, didn't they?
I think
hoverboard. Yeah,
hoverboard too. Like probably because the third's the Western one. Like there's got to be in some sort of skateboarding in that. He probably made the world's first skateboard and or skateboard.
And
Western skateboard.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. That's what we're gonna do tonight.
Nice. I haven't watched that one.
Either that or Mike's out of town, so I think we're watching South Pacific and we'll sing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I know. The box set.
Oh, lovely.
Do you want to go next?
Yeah, so I have a question because it's quite a common thing. I think it's stopped now, but whenever I was young, like you would get handed sweets all the time. Like you go and see your granny, here's a wee sweetie for you, here's some money, go down to the shops, buy some sweets. And it was just like this constant like intake of sugar in a way that I remember like spending some time with my cousin's kid, and he had come around to my house to play video games, and I was like, do you want a snack? And he goes, yeah, do you have any fruit? And I'm like, what? You're asking for fruit? And but it's just it's not what I'm used to at all, and I think it's bad because like obviously it's created such an addiction in so many people in this country. But yes, was the case for you then, was it?
Yes. So little known fact, I eat to live, but I live to eat for candy.
Yeah.
So I remember going to my grandparents, and they lived on like a golf course that had a little like store. And so I don't know who let me do this, but I was driving a golf cart at like age 9 around, and I would drive a golf cart to this little store and spend $10.
That's amazing.
And then I'm sure you never read this book series, but It was called the Babysitters Club.
I've heard of it.
And okay, so one of the characters, like they would all meet in Claudia's bedroom for their weekly Babysitters Club meeting and figure out like, how to solve whatever problem. And what, I don't even remember what the plots were, but I remember she would hide candy in her room. And so every meeting, every week, she would pull out all the candy from all the hidden spots. And I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. So I would get all the candy from the little store and I would hide it everywhere.
Amazing.
And then my dad would be like, "Hey, you holding?" I'd be like, "Yeah. What you want sweet, you want salty, what do
Yeah,
you
what are you looking
want?"
for? Yeah.
A
That's so
drug
good.
dealer at age 9.
Wow. I,
So
I'm
yeah,
guessing
it was
I'm guessing back
definitely
then $10 would have bought you quite a bit of candy.
like I remember this was back in the day where you could buy candy cigarettes.
Yeah,
Did you guys have those?
we did. Yes,
And they
yes,
were
yes,
so
yes.
fun, and you would totally pretend to smoke, and
Yes,
they
you
would like
would. That's
have the
true.
little camel on the pack. So it was like they're already getting they were owned by the big tobacco companies, and they were already getting you ready to
It's so
have
funny.
your first puff.
We were joking about my first gambling addiction, and like that's exactly what they did with other things, with like cigarettes and other addictions back then. It's
Yeah, when you
nuts,
think of it, it's super
nuts.
messed up.
It is.
But I
I
miss those.
should we? Yeah, I hadn't thought about those in a long time. Yeah, I don't like.
Uh,
I'm sure there's other kind of problematic ones in that ilk, but there's nothing springing to mind at the minute. Like, would there been anything that would have replicated like chewing tobacco or something like that? It's bound to be.
oh
There's
yeah,
bound to be
Big
some sort
League
of good.
Chew.
There you
Big League
go.
Chew.
I have heard of that as well.
I just bought some for the kids, and I'm like, you
Nice.
stuff it in your.
Do you
Here's how
really?
you do
Oh,
it.
no way. That's so good.
You stuff it in the lip. And they're like, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like,
It's,
"So you
this
can play baseball
I
someday."
was gonna say it's where you keep your dip.
That's where
You
you
have to
keep
get
your
used to
debt.
this. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mad.
You get your little spit can.
Yeah, like
So go ahead.
I
I am
think
so excited
I
to
know
talk about this, apparently.
I I I very much like it was my granny, my auntie, everybody would be like sweet, sweet, sweets, and like I remember even like in my school there being like, because it was funny because I was in there recently, and so some of the work that I do, and talking to one of the teachers about my time back then. They were like, "Oh, do you remember there was an illegal tuck shop?" And it's like, yeah. So like one of the like teachers just ran this sort of off the book sort of candy selling business. And that's, I don't know whether is that a term that you know, tuck shop?
Tuck shop?
Yeah. So that
Like
would have
TUCK? Like to tuck in
yes,
something? Yeah,
exactly.
no, that's not a term that
So I don't know
trying to get
whether
down.
that's regional to us or whether that's more of a UK thing, but like certainly that's what we would have called the place we would have went to buy like snacks at school and things like that. So yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, just call them like the mini mart,
Yeah.
or the name of it, Circle K.
This tended to be no, so this rather than being like a convenience store as such, it would be somebody in like a school or like at a church or something like that would be selling, just like it wasn't even a proper shop as such. They would just have stuff that they would sell to the kids when
Like
they
a
were there.
box of stuff.
Yeah. So like
Oh
here's
yeah,
a
no. Do you know what they actually did
what?
for school fundraisers? They would check you out a box of candy that you were
Oh.
supposed to go sell for the school.
Oh,
So like,
interesting.
oh, I'm gonna go on a band trip to wherever. So I gotta
Sure.
sell this candy. And invariably I wouldn't sell the candy to fucking anybody. I would
Eat
buy
the
all that
candy.
shit myself. I ate
Hmm.
it all. I had like 40 bars to myself.
I would struggle to have
Eh,
that all in the house. That's just asking for trouble, truly.
Yeah, yeah. It was great. That's how I fell in love with 100. Have you had 100 grand?
No, I
It's like
haven't.
Rice Crispy with caramel and chocolate, and it's so freaking
Okay.
good.
I
So you
think
would love it. You would love
it
it.
does sound good. I think we have some. That's what a toffee crisp is. So I think that's similar to that, which is caramel, crispy chocolate. Yeah,
Okay. And you call
good.
them Krispies, not Rice Krispies?
I suppose we do call them Rice Krispies. I don't know why I just shortened it. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, yeah. Rice Krispies.
Crisp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rice
Crisps or
Krispies sound
crackers?
better.
No, crisps are
Crisps,
chips?
crisps are chips. Yes, in the
Okay.
vernacular. Yeah. which makes more sense, right? They're crispy. Shots fired at the
Uh,
US.
I'm like, look, I'm staring
I mean,
off screen at you right now.
it's just, yeah, but yes, crisps or chips. Yes. I like the thing, and I think 'cause I sent them to you before. I sent you a load of like chips from this country. The thing that always kind of
You
surprised
did.
me,
They were so weird. It was
yeah,
like
there's
sugar baked beans. And yeah, so Andy sent me this like care package of all of the foods that he likes. So they were
mhm.
like, yeah, there were crisps of different flavors, these weird bean
Oh yes,
snack
the
things.
bean snack things, yeah. They're not typical,
It's,
they're just what I was into at the time.
yeah, some chocolate,
Yeah.
some toffee. Was it Macintosh toffee?
I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. Did I maybe send you some fudge as well? I honestly
You
can't
did.
remember.
And
I
then some tea that was very pungent.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. Like, yeah, just loads of stuff, just loaded up with mostly food. It's
And then mugs that had phrases on them that I
oh
really
yeah.
like. I was like, what does this even mean? I don't understand. And I had to Google it. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's for discussion on our next slang episode.
Yes. Which I've worked. Yeah. Yes. I've started a list.
Oh,
So
excellent, good.
that's up and coming, everybody.
Sweet. Look forward to that.
Yes. Um, so do you guys have Skittles?
Yes.
They just banned in California. They didn't ban Skittles, but
hmm
they banned 4 of the ingredients that cause cancer that are in Skittles. So
Four of the
apparently,
ingredients that cause cancer. That's
4 of
wild.
the so
Jeez
Skittles is
Louise.
having to go and like, at least for California, is going to have to repurpose their recipe and fix it and then redistribute.
Wild.
So it's, yeah, I know, right?
That's really
So whatever
crazy.
you're eating, dude, I don't know. I don't know. Beware.
Yeah, I think that like we are slightly more regulated here. I mean, like, who knows now? Like, I know that now that we're like outside of, I know that like the European Union certainly had a lot of regulations and stuff like that.
Mm.
Um, so I don't know.
I wonder if you're more regulated than we are or less.
I think probably more. I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
would agree with that. It's still lawless out here.
Yeah. Um, I'm pretty certain I don't know about sugary stuff in particular, but like certainly in other areas we're quite heavily regulated, so that it
Mm-hmm.
would make sense that we would be over sugar and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because like we had a thing, so I don't know whether you know about this. This is maybe what 4 or 5 years old. We had a sugar tax, so anything I think it was only for drinks. So like any drinks that had sugar in them, had like an extra 15 pence or 20 pence or whatever it was, add on. So a lot of drinks went to like a formula to use sweeteners instead, which is, I
Like
mean,
artificial sweeteners.
yes, and like and then
Yay.
I think that was before a lot of stuff came out about artificial sweeteners possibly being just as bad as sugar came out. So we
Or
like
worse.
we had like cereal called like sugar puffs and stuff that I think just vanished because sugar got such a bad name. Anything with sugar in the title was just like, forbidden.
So they changed the name and put it back on the
I
shelves
think they
and
have changed
repackaged
the name,
it.
but I haven't seen it anywhere, that one. But like, cause that was one that I remember had a
Yeah.
fondness for as a kid, and I can't see it anymore.
Yeah. So here, um, we I remember in high school we had vending machines where you could go and get your soda and your
Yeah.
candy bars. And we had Taco Bell in our high school.
Wow.
So you could be like, all right, I'm gonna get, and then yeah, they had like a little like shack shop that you like, they would roll open the partition
hmm
window and I'd get like my mini donuts and my Sunny Delight, and then I'd get my Josta soda. And do you remember Josta?
Nice.
Do you guys have that?
No, that
Yeah,
name,
and
I've
my
heard the
candy
name
bar
before.
and Taco Bell, and like yeah, it's just really, really awful. But I'm sure that
Yeah,
we're getting kickbacks from the companies.
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. Like, it's interesting because we don't have well, Taco Bell's not really it's becoming a big thing apparently. Like, it's they've launched in London in recent years, and they're starting to like spread a little bit more. but we never really we haven't got Taco Bell over here as yet, which makes
I'm
me
so
very
sorry.
sad. I know.
It is very sad. I mean, we've
I
talked
know.
about how much we love Taco Bell.
Oh,
It's
it's so
so
good.
freaking good. I know. I know.
And don't at me. I know it's not real Mexican food or whatever, but it is uniquely Taco Bell, which is what I'm kind of craving, you know.
I have a I have a question about opal
Hmm.
fruits
Yes.
versus starbursts. Are they
So
the same thing?
they are. Um,
They change the name?
they did. So
Why?
I think just to have a more universal corporate branding. So, and I think they've been Starburst for I got must be at least 20 years now.
Okay.
So we have not up fruits, but like, you know, it's like those things. Like our Snickers bars were called marathons for many years. And like with any of these things, like people will like refuse to call them by their new names for like years. So that definitely happened, and I think that happened with Opal Fruits as well for a long time. But like they've been Starburst now for so long, I think most people have forgotten.
Okay. And then do you guys have like candy corn and
No,
like those types of okay.
I like
The little pumpkins that it's all the same recipe, they just change the shape of the candy.
I have had it before,
What did you
but
think?
I didn't like it at all. I thought it was really
It's
awful.
one of the most so I looked at the top 10 favorite US candies and it's in the top 10.
Yeah, like to me, that feels like a nostalgia thing more than like a thing that people actually like. It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
right. Because it's not good. It feels really processed, and I've yet to meet. Like, do you like it?
Um, not yes and no. Like I'll if there's a bowl of them, I'll totally eat them.
Sure,
I won't necessarily go out and buy them and be like, oh yeah, it's
candy corn, my
candy
favorite.
corn time, woohoo!
Yeah,
But I was also surprised because hot tamales, do you have those?
no,
It's the spicy cinnamon candy
yes,
that's like chewy. That was in the top 10 too. And I was like, God, I haven't had a hot tamale in forever.
that's wild.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna send you a care package
yeah, do I know some stuff,
of
and as
all
I
the
say,
grossest ones.
please, they're my absolute
And then
favorite.
did you ever have the wax bottles?
No, what are they?
So
What flavor are they?
they're wax, they're literally like little wax bottles that they press and like have a little hole inside and then they fill it with like sugar water. And then you bite off the top of the wax
No,
bottle and then you drink the sugar water and then you throw the wax away. Yeah.
very interesting.
I know. And like as a kid, like that was the coolest. Or like Fun Dip. You Fun Dip?
No,
Oh my
mm-mm.
gosh. Oh yeah. So
Is
that is like it's a powder and you get this
oh
little like sugar stick and then
um
the powder changes color when you eat it.
we have some similar. What are they called? Dip dabs, I think. We
Dip
have
dab.
so those ones. I think they're dip dabs. Um, instead of like the stick that you lifted it with was also like a sort of chalky sort of like you could eat the stick basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sounds exactly the
Or
same.
like
Yeah,
suck on it for hours.
yes.
And
Um,
then yeah. Go ahead.
I so I think they're dip dabs. Yeah, I'm near positive they are actually. I think that's the name. I'm sure somebody's screaming at me right now. And I don't know if
Do
they're
you know
still
what they're called,
available.
Andy?
I know.
Andrew.
How could you do this to us? They had like two different flavors of like fizz as well. So you had two different sachets. So you get like a lemony one, like a strawberry or a raspberry one. Yeah, very
What's
fancy.
a sachet? Sachet?
Sachet is, I guess, like a sort of paper or plasticky kind of container that you can kind
Okay.
of rip. So
Yeah.
like I guess that you would have like you would get sugar and sachets and stuff. What would you call those? Packets, maybe?
Yeah, packet.
Yeah. I mean,
Sachet.
maybe I'm just being very
That's like a
fancy.
dance move. That's a dance.
It is. So
Sachet,
so
chanté.
I sent you a picture from. So I've taken a picture of the I think you a picture of the candy section in my
Oh, I see. Okay.
you got it.
Yeah, I'll
There's so
post it.
there's an American section in my
Giant
local
toast and
supermarket, right?
marshmallows.
So all the
Marshmallow mateys.
I know
I've
I was gonna
literally
say
like
all the American
I've
classics
never
like
seen that.
they are a Lucky Charms ripoff. Um,
I like
like
that beef jerky is one of
I
these.
know there's normally also A&W root beer, which I think is more of a
Oh.
Canadian thing, or am I wrong in that?
Um, no, A&W, maybe it is a Canadian thing.
Okay.
Canadian friends, please let us know if
Yeah.
A&W originated there, but it's like a fast food place.
Oh
And like
yes,
they were
I've heard
super
this.
known for their root beer floats and their root beer.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, and then I think like Haribo makes a root
Okay.
beer gummy that's
Oh
A&W
really?
based
Wow.
or
Okay.
similar to nerds. So I'm just looking at Andy's photo that I will post for everyone to see. A lot of different versions of Reese's.
Yeah.
The pretzels, we don't have those.
They're
What?
good.
Yeah,
Mm.
missing out on that. Marshmallow mateys are Lucky Charms.
Yes, they are. They are like a complete
They
rip
won't
off
put those on your shelf.
because they would be an outcry. They'd be like, "How dare
It'd be
you?"
an outcry. And then high chew gum and Jolly Ranchers.
It's high
So yeah,
chew.
you're missing out on a lot.
I mean, it's a very lackluster, half-assed sort of American candy section, but like,
Yeah.
and I think that's often the case. Is it's not so much a here's a snapshot of what they're eating in the US. It's like what overstock does a company have that wants to sell to us for cheap?
It's true. And like there's a down in La Jolla, it's about an hour from here. Not it's like 45 minutes. There's a place called the Cheese Shop and they have only like UK candy. So it's like Big Hunk and I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I'm not gonna
Mhm,
name any of
mhm.
them because I don't remember,
Sure,
but I will go and I will take a photo
please.
and I will show you what their version of
I,
Irish and UK
I feel
candy
like some
is.
of that stuff is probably more white. Like some of our stuff is. I know that like Cadbury's has a bit of a presence in the US, right?
It's huge.
Oh, it really huge. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, especially at Easter.
because like I mean, I'm not like I've never been, and this is probably heresy, but I've never been the biggest fan of like Cadbury's chocolate as such. It's okay, but like I still think it is so much better than Hershey's chocolate, which I've tried. It's which I
Yeah.
have, but it is that the
There's like a
I was gonna say,
it's
is
like
that the kind of
Hershey,
attitude? Oh no.
they add wax to it
Oh
so that
no.
it doesn't melt. Yeah. So
Yikes.
sorry, Hershey's, Pennsylvania. This is your secret recipe
You're
that
on
I'm letting
blast.
you're well, that's how, they don't want like good chocolate melts.
Yes. And theirs doesn't.
And no. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
like
alarming.
if you set it out in the sun
Yeah, it'll
and
melt eventually.
yeah, and you make the s'more. You guys make s'mores with the Hershey bar
Yeah.
and the graham cracker and the um, marshmallow, which I never really got into. It's always a very messy thing to eat when you're camping and you can't really wash your hands. But
Yeah.
whatever. Huh? Um, but yeah, I read that there's a certain ratio of wax that they put in order to not have it melt as quickly. So
Absolutely
there you have
wild.
it. But
Yeah.
it's yeah, I would say it's definitely if I had to pick. Okay, so we have Lindt chocolate,
Yeah.
LANDT. So they have like now they're getting all crafty with it. So there's like sea salt dark chocolate.
Yeah.
That combination is, I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that. But now there's like chocolatiers that are getting even crazier and they're like chocolate jalapeno, chocolate and bacon. Like bacon for a while
Yes.
had its own following,
I
and like
I'm
it was super in to just like bacon.
yes, I'm aware of this because there was that the YouTube channel which I can't remember the name of it. Mighty no, I can't remember, but it was all about bacon, bacon, more bacon. And there was a Pimp My Snack channel, I think, or website where people were just making huge versions of other candies.
That's amazing.
nuts.
Okay, I'm gonna look up my snack when we're done.
I was looking at like the UK candies and popular ones, and I was surprised to see how high Werther's Originals and Werther's brand of stuff is still. I
Ugh.
know.
Oh, this is terrible, but I always associate it with my grandparents.
It is. I
They
think it's
always had Werther's,
yeah, and I think
and they're
that's
hard,
they are
especially when you
hard,
have dentures.
but they seem to do like a load of other stuff now. So they also do like softer, like they do toffees and all, and maybe not a wide variety. It's all in that sort of area, But like, yeah, they've broken out into other types of things, but all toffee and caramel flavored.
What is like a memory that you have about a candy that sticks out, good or bad?
That's a good question. I have such fond memories of so at Halloween. So like, because I think you call apples, the Halloween apples, candy apples, right?
Yep,
So we call them toffee apples. And
wrong.
I dare you. I have such fond memories of making those. Oh, there are two memories actually, sweet memories from my youth of making the toffee apples, and also mom making a tray of toffee. Because that would just make me so happy. I love that stuff so much. The other memory, not of like a sweet brand, but like as a kid, my mom used to make Swiss rolls. Do you
Mhm.
you sell Swiss rolls, right?
Um,
You call them something different, maybe?
I think a Swiss roll is like cake
Yeah,
with like chocolate, and then you like roll it up.
like we would
We
do
have like a
them.
bastardized version made by Little Debbie,
Yes.
I think.
So I mean, we would do different ones. You could put like a kind of a cream style filling or like jam or some things like that in it.
Mhm.
But when my mum made them, she made the whole like sheet of like cake to be rolled up, but she would cut the ends off, and I remember like getting those ends, and they were all crispy and sugary and oh, so good. I kind of I haven't made a Swiss roll by myself actually. And I really must just for that more than anything else. So yeah. What about you?
Um, I just I have so we lived on a hill in Oregon, like a steep hill. It was like you'd go from whatever elevator I would walk up this 500, like changing elevation by 500 feet, this huge hill,
Uh-huh.
with my babysitting money.
Mm-hmm.
So I just remember like going down this hill, probably like it was probably a mile each way. And this was like the depths of which I loved candy. And I would like get my money and like hike all the way down this hill on this busy road where there's no sidewalk. And you're like, you're trying not to fall off the side of the cliff or whatever. And then like go in and stand there in front of the candy aisle and figure out how much money I
Mm.
had. And then like debating, okay, like you have to have tart and sweet, and which combinations go well together. So like Nerds Reese's Pieces, right? Because you want to balance out those
Yeah.
flavors, and then like getting my bag and like holding it in both hands, and like having to make the trek up that elevated hill, and like get home and like hide the candy. But I did that a lot. I spent most of my money on candy. I probably spent thousands of dollars as a
Oh,
child, babysitting money and like Christmas money, and like, sorry, Uncle Bobby and Aunt Dot, all those $25 checks, they went
went
to
it.
the cavities in my mouth. But I really appreciated it.
Could you
Um,
like on that walk back, could you wait until you got home before you ate anything, or would you
No,
have
I
like
would no, I was like,
sort of
what
like
do I
here?
dive into first? And then I would like dump out the bags of
Yeah,
whatever, and then like organize them all by color, and then eat the color that I
nice.
didn't like them first, and then like work my way to the colors that I like the best. So yeah,
So good. I
I
love
would do
it.
that with Nerds, which are
Hmm.
really tiny.
Yeah,
So
they
yeah,
are tiny.
they are. That I was dedicated.
I because like they were a thing. We did get Nerds when I was a kid, but like they didn't arrive until a bit later on. I remember them sort of appearing in like shops, and it's like, what are these? So exciting.
Yeah, just like literal sugar.
Oh, just yeah. just tiny nuggets of sugar, like, yeah,
Tiny nuggets of sugar that
mad.
you pour in your mouth.
Yes, obscene, like absolutely
So
obscene.
yes. Okay. So best sweet treats in other countries that you like, oh, I'm gonna go back to this country. I know I'm gonna eat this blank.
Oh wow. Okay. Oof,
Yeah. I know this
that
could be
is
a
a
fun
tough
topic.
one because it's like it's so tough. You know, what immediately springs to mind for me
Hmm.
is drinks, sweet drinks, actually. So, like, there was two that I really love that come back to
Calpis,
me.
Pocari Sweat.
Calpis, yeah, yeah, Pocari Sweat. Oh wow, have you tried Pocari Sweat? God, that's an interesting one.
I
Um,
know.
Sweat of Pocari. Um, so the two that immediately spring to mind for me, because I never remember being that crazy about the candy in, so like, countries I've spent some time in, like Korea and Taiwan. So in Korea there was a banana milk that was the best banana milk I've ever had. It was really sweet, it was really creamy, it really tasted like banana. It was so frigging good. I would get one probably daily, which kind of been good for me. It's so amazing. And in Taiwan, there was a iced tea, which I kind of became a fan of out there because again, I wasn't crazy about so many, like, I don't really like fizzy stuff so much. But there was a sweet and sour iced tea that was incredible and just such a good thirst quencher. And I very much miss both of those things a lot.
Yeah. So I would say for me, it's the pineapple cakes in Taiwan, which we've talked
Yeah,
about.
they're
They're
good.
so good. And it's like I'm lucky that Mike gets to go to Taiwan once a year to do his volunteer scuba diving research thing.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm like, I know I can't eat the gluten, but I'm willing to suffer for 2 weeks to eat as many of these as I can because they're so freaking good. I've never had anything that good
Like,
and light and like it's just the perfect
they are
ratio
good.
of everything.
What, like, I love, and I think I told you about this before. So like, bizarrely, because of the history in Taiwan and like Portuguese, I think they were occupied by the Portuguese for a long time. So they have like lots of the Portuguese custard tarts there, which I would get all the time. Like, they were everywhere in Taiwan, and they were something like I really loved.
What are
I
they called?
was
Not
They're
pierogies?
called pastel de natas.
Pastel de nata. So wrong. Pierogi is like a, isn't that a
It's like a dumpling. It's
Polish
like a, yeah, Polish dumpling type
dumpling?
thing. Yeah, yeah. They're, which are also,
Sorry, everyone.
oh,
My bad.
Beth.
My bad.
That's just reminded me, actually. So like when I
Oh,
was in
what?
Poland, so there's pierogi stores all over, which were incredible. A really great place to get a really kind of cheap food. But you could get sweet pierogies that were like filled with like
Ooh.
cherries or things like that, and would
So
have
I'm
like a
right.
cream. Yes, you were right.
Aha, everyone.
Foiled again. So yeah, that was really good. That was something I actually really liked. But yeah, it's int
Alexa Alexa sent me a photo that was like a Halloween basket that was filled with those Portuguese tarts instead
yes,
of food.
she sent it to
Did
me,
she
and
send that to? Yeah.
my response was, "Shit, I just left the full bucket." You
Right? Just take the whole thing.
have to. But yeah, it's interesting because when I think about my memories of places, and I guess this speaks to more what I'm looking for in my sweet stuff, is I'm thinking more about the baked goods rather than the
Mhm.
candy or the sweets these
Interesting.
days. But I've always been such a fan of like cakes and tarts and pies and what have you. That's always been my favorite.
If you had to pick between like candy and confectionery food,
Like, so, but like baked food,
yeah.
it would be baked food every day.
Okay.
Unquestionably, I love
Yeah.
it so much,
For
so much.
me, it's the total
Oh,
opposite.
really?
I Yeah, there was I remember I don't think they have it anymore, but they used to have liquefied lollipop in a squeeze tube,
Hmm.
and you just like squeeze a little bit in your mouth
Yes.
and be like, do you remember squeeze pop?
We had things like
Like
that,
that's
yeah.
I like artificial, I like Wonka, I like the worst right?
But like, I mean, here's the thing. You say that, but but like the things that I like them because not only am I getting that sweet sugar hit, I'm also getting that horrible carb hit.
Right.
You just get like a two-pronged attack in my body. That's what I'm craving.
Fair point. I
So
need that hit,
it's all
the
awful at the
double
end of the
hit.
day. Yeah, but I love it, and I'll never forsake it. Um,
I think those are the questions I had for you. Wait, yep.
I suppose here's
Oh,
the
I have a
thing.
story. I
Oh,
have a
dude.
story.
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
Another thing that I like is there's this jam that's made in this little island in French Polynesia called Maria.
Uh-huh.
And it's where they grow pineapples and papayas and coconuts, and they make these amazing so there's a company called Rotui.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what Rotui means. Just it may mean mountain. Sorry, my Tahitian friends, I do not remember.
Mm-hmm.
But so every year we go and get all the jars of this amazing jam, and it's so freaking good. And they have this
Mm-hmm.
agricultural school where everyone go. It's like a college. They all learn how to make, how to grow and cultivate the land and do all these amazing things to so I can have jam. And they make this amazing ice cream at ag school, so you can
Mm-hmm.
go and sample all the different jams, and then you get ice cream, and it's just like sugar load, right? It's so great. And our friend, who has since passed, unfortunately, but he used to work, he was the engineer at the Rotui factory.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were visiting his wife, and so sorry, this is disgusting.
Okay.
Charlie was sick and like eating Cheetos in the car. And we get out standing by the Rotui factory, and like it's the tropics, right? So there's a dead cat over there and with flies on
Yeah.
it. And we get out and we're gonna hike up the hill, and Charlie just like, and he's wearing Crocs, of course. Hashtag Crocs, be our
Yeah.
sponsor.
Yeah.
And
Come
he
on,
leans
Crocs.
over and just barfs Cheetos all over his Crocs. So I just have this memory of like standing outside the jam factory that I love so much, jam and juice. And like just like watching Charlie vomiting Cheetos all over his Crocs while there's like a dead
No.
cat stand like next to him, and just being like, this is actually happening right now. This is a memory I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And now I'm sharing it with everyone.
It's nice. It's a good one. This
Like,
is the sort of thing that just stays with you. That it's seared
yes,
into your
yeah.
brain forever.
That's a digression.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what we're here for.
It's
Love
what
it.
we're
It's
here
good.
for. Yeah. So well,
Shall
this has been
we?
great.
It has been great.
Yeah.
Shall we move on? Yes, we're getting close to the end. So, I mean, I had some others, but I think we covered most of what I think we wanted to talk about. So, yeah, I guess we'll get on to the most dreaded part of any episode.
I feel like I'm gonna like start splicing in like like some
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
really lame
Just sort of
sad
like
music.
or
So
some horror music or something like that, just the sort of impending doom sort of thing.
someone's behind the door waiting. Yes. All right, Andy.
So Beth, what's bringing you joy this week? What has been bringing
This
you
is
joy this week?
what has been bringing me joy. Actually, this was easy for me to answer this week.
Okay,
Finally, it only took 6 weeks to get to this point.
that's good.
I will say, just like having launched and having this weird baby that we
Yeah,
birthed into the world that is Bendy, the feedback that we've gotten and just the interactions that we've had with people,
yeah,
it's really meant a lot.
it has.
And my friend Allison posted just a really nice message about our relationship, and she's helping promote our podcast, but in doing that, she just really went on and told me what I mean to her, and that felt good. And like, she's a way more amazing person than I am. Like, she's just I think I like to think of myself as being a helper, but she is like a helper or terminator. She's just seriously She is
Amazing.
an epic human being, and
That's
so it
great.
was just nice to connect with her in that way.
Like,
And
yeah,
I feel like our purpose was to make people feel included, to make
yes,
people feel like, they're sitting in the room with us while we're doing this. And just the feedback we've gotten, like, it sounds like we're giving people some laughs.
yeah.
And that makes me feel really happy to like
It's
be able to provide
and
humor and,
also
you
like a
know,
kind of welcome space, I think, as well. And I've kind of got feedback in that regard. People just want to enjoying spending time,
mhm.
which is really nice.
Yeah. So that's my joy. It's just this having happened, and um my joy is hopefully bringing other joy in people's lives.
Yeah,
So
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna echo that as well because like that has been, it's been very
you
meaningful over
can't
the past week.
copy my
It's
thing.
too late.
No.
Too late. I, I think as well. It's just been really nice. I it's maybe like how I think about things that I do, and the kind of I can look at them quite negatively at times. So I've been really surprised at how nice the reaction has been. I've been surprised at the people that have listened to it. Like I've promoted it everywhere. And there's some people I would have just thought, well, I'm not going to listen to whatever old bollocks Andy's putting out into the world. And I respect that decision if people want to do that, but really people have been really enjoying it and have been, as I say, also been giving me some really kind of lovely feedback and kind of meaningful, thoughtful feedback, which I'm really, yeah, very touched by. And yeah, it's been really awesome, and it's been bringing me a lot of joy over the past week for sure.
Yeah. So I guess thank you to our Bendies,
Yeah, thanks,
our
folks.
listeners, our friends. Yeah, this has just been it's been a wonderful welcoming, and I'm
It
just
has been.
grateful.
It has been. But like, also just, I don't want you to get too comfortable, and we will be calling you jerks in the future. So
True.
enjoy it now, all right?
Right? Because it's going away.
Enjoy this praise while it lasts.
Just re-listen to this episode. We're going to be bringing you down.
Yeah, and then calling you Dom and et cetera, et cetera. It's all gonna happen. It's all in the works.
Not saccharin? Oh.
And no, Soccer and Sour fan base. Uh, oh god, I hate the word fan base, but yes, anyway. But yes, truly, it has really been lovely and unexpectedly lovely, and yeah, really great. So
Yeah.
thank you, folks.
And yeah, if anyone has any merch ideas, just
Yeah,
we're everywhere now, so you can find us and just let us know. And I'll as yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and figure out how would you would spell your pronunciation of ohm? Put that on a t-shirt.
I should maybe record myself doing one. Like
I think so.
uh, so like in the yoga classes that I go to, like I attend, one of my friends, she was teaching recently, and she's been doing ohms again, and she's like, I never worry about doing ohms when you're in the class because I know you will do it as loud as equally as loud as me, if not louder, and go on equally as long as me, if not longer. And I'm like, it, because I was like, as soon as she said we're going to do an ohm, I was like, literally punching the air with the light. I was like, yes, my favorite. So yeah,
Well, good. I like it. We're doing it. We're doing the damn thing.
we are doing the
And
damn
it's
thing.
and it's working. So
So yeah, it's been great so far. It really has.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's time to wrap things up. Folks, lovely to have you along as always. Is there anything else you want to say,
Oh,
Beth, right before we do wrap up?
no, I think
You
I've
good?
probably talked everybody's ear off at this point. I think, is there one more candy I can talk about? No, I think
We're
I'm
giving them
candied.
what they
I'm
want.
candied up.
They
I
love it.
know.
They love it. Okay, folks. So lovely chatting with you as always. And we love you. And as always, stay
Stay
bendy.
bendy. Is this how you ohm? It's
Oh,
so long. It's
how
so
dare
long.
you? It's meaningful, Beth.
All
All right, bye.
right,
Bye
bye.
bye.